Family Research Council President Tony Perkins says the president should visit his severely damaged Louisiana home instead of teeing off. The president is playing golf during his vacation. We welcome Mr. Perkins. And first, nobody takes any pleasure in anyone suffering. And we know that I guess you lost your home. You were flooded out, were you not?
We were. We had to escape from the home by boat, but the waters receded. We've gutted most of our house. We'll be able to rebuild. There are folks here in the state that are in much worse shape than we are, and it's really just the beginning. We're on the front side of this, but fortunately there have been those from across the country that are responding and helping, because what's happened is so concentrated. We're unable in the initial stages even to do this ourselves. You've got groups like Samaritan's Purse. Right. First call I made, Franklin was down here today with Donald Trump and Mike Pence. And so the help is coming in, but more volunteers are going to be needed in the weeks ahead to help folks put things back together here.
So let's talk about this, because Donald Trump was there today looking presidential and not, yes. You know, some people would criticize him. This was a photo op, but there wasn't quite the press op you would get as when the president goes, and the president announced he will visit Baton Rouge next week. Does this, what are your thoughts on this? Did the president give in to Donald Trump, you know, taking the high road on this? I mean, the president will point out that the governor there, Mr. Edwards, said don't come just yet. I mean, what do you think of all this?
Well, first off, I was here in the relief effort in Katrina. This is my home while I work in Washington. This is my home. I'm very embedded in the community. I used to represent this area. I was involved in Katrina, and I mean, 3 days later, Bush flew over, was criticized for that, for not being here. I was communicating with the White House about certain issues we had. It was our government that actually discouraged him, our governor at the time, from coming in. But here we have a situation where Donald Trump, and I know this because I was talking with his campaign yesterday, asking him to come down so that we could bring some attention to it. They said, well, we don't want to make this a photo op. And so they told us not to tell anyone. And so no one was notified that they were coming. They wanted to come and see firsthand what was happening on the ground. As I toured this morning with Donald Trump and Mike Pence as we traveled through communities around this area, he was astonished at the level of devastation. We got out, we walked, stopped the motorcade and walked through neighborhoods. He took time to talk with the residents, looked at their homes, and got a firsthand glimpse of the depth and the breadth of this tragedy and the suffering that people are going through. And I think that's what a leader needs to do so that he can, you know, empathize with them. We're not asking the government to help. We have nonprofits helping. Sure. Nobody's crying for the government to help them. They want the government to give recognition that there's a problem. When you have the leader of the nation too worried about being under par and not the people who are underwater here in this state, that says a lot about his priorities.
Mr. Perkins, I apologize that we have to cut this short, but there are no more generous people on this planet than the American people in drawing attention to the disaster you are all living through. Hopefully that will motivate people to assist. All the best to you, and our prayers are with you and the thousands of people in the Baton Rouge area who are dealing with this.